Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to come up with logical solutions. But not everyone uses logic. For that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Also, the subscriber mode has been enabled, meaning if you are not a subscriber and if you wish to enter a comment in the chat, you will need to subscribe to the channel. As always, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel. Whether you've been a member of the Uncommon Folk since the very beginning or recently become a member of the Uncommon Folk, I really appreciate all the love and all the support that you continue to give me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices, and a huge shout out to all the cloud watchers. So, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you have not done so already, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have an opportunity to watch it live or watch it on the playback. As far as how long this stream would be, it would depend regarding um, the interaction of the chat and those who wish to join the panel. I also want to let everybody know that the link to join the panel has been pinned. So at any time that you feel comfortable hitting that link and expressing your point of view, by all means, you're more than welcome to do so. Now, before we get into the topic, oh, by the way, the topic for tonight is a goodbye to Cynthia G. I'm going to explain in a few minutes the meaning behind the title. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have another issue of In My Words. Of course, today is Halloween. And I know the fact of the matter is there are millions of people in this country that observe Halloween. And for many people, it's a time of the year where they can wear costumes, kids go around trick or treating, and sometimes they'll have scary movies and things of that nature. You have Halloween parties, masquerade parties, things of that nature. Okay. Um, I don't condemn those who observe Halloween. I, for my part, don't do that. And there's a reason why I don't observe Halloween. I don't observe Halloween because I actually done some research regarding the subject. And the origins of this day are pagan. Okay. Um, First of all, I'm not asking you to take my word for it. What I will ask you to do, if you doubt what I'm saying, you look it up for yourself. Let's take a look at some of the customs, like the mask. Okay, basically, the whole purpose is to try to hide one's identity. Okay, those of us who are Christians, we all know who is the person that tried to hide their identity, the adversary, which we call the devil. Now, the custom of trick or treating that comes from an ancient custom where a group of people called the Druids will offer food to the spirits in order to be left alone. Also, there are other customs like Ouija boards, seances, and things of that nature. And also for those who are into witchcraft and black magic, this is their big holiday. This is like their Christmas, and so for these and other reasons, for years I have chosen not to observe Halloween. And whenever people wish me happy Halloween, I just politely say thank you, but I do not observe that day. Okay, and just leave it alone. Um, as Christians, we should not celebrate the day because basically, when you consider the origin and where it came from, and how this is for those who practice witchcraft and Satanism, this is their big day. So I just choose not to observe Halloween. Let me make it perfectly clear. I don't judge those that do. You are free to do whatever you wish. I'm not going to oppose my beliefs on you. If you ask me why I don't observe Halloween, I will explain it to you, and I just leave the information with you. You do what you wish. Okay. Because one thing we have to bear in mind, we're in a society where everyone is freedom to say what they want, do whatever they want, as long as it doesn't infringe on other people. Okay. So, and I was thinking about doing a string on Halloween, but you know what? There are other things that I would prefer to discuss. Now, with that being said, we're gonna have another issue of what the heck this is. Now, who is the recipient of the What the Heck This Is award? It is directed towards the people of Accessorite. And let me explain to you what happened. The problem with it is the Accessorite, what it is a shared ride system for those people who for physical or other reasons, are not able to use the subway and buses. The whole point is to use a shared ride system when you get to point A to point B, whether it be you're going to work or whether it be you're going to your medical appointments and things of that nature. Okay. Now, the problem with Accessorite is either they come too early, in other words, before the schedule picks a time, they come late, considerably late after your pickup time, or they don't come at all. Okay. So this Saturday, I schedule a pickup, and then the driver decides for whatever reason to pick me up half an hour before my time. Fine. I came down, I was ready because I didn't want to keep the driver waiting. Unfortunately, the driver did not show the same courtesy towards me. Okay. So we go to pick up another passenger. We're waiting in total 40 minutes. Okay. And then to add insult to injury, the other passenger wanted the driver to wait more time. And then she was arguing with the driver because she was carrying this shopping cart and she wanted to go to to a food market, whatever. And then she was fussing with the driver regarding where her cart should be. So after like another 10 minutes or so, she finally gets in the vehicle. And then once she gets on the vehicle, she's arguing with the driver. Go here, go there, go here, go here. What's the bump? And it's like, I decided not to say anything at all because knowing me and knowing my temper, if I was going to say something, it would have been three people arguing instead of two people arguing. And one thing about me is that you have to learn when to fight your battles, and you have to learn when arguing does not help. So I try to keep myself busy with my phone while she's fussing with the driver and what have you, and all that sort of thing. Fortunately for me, the driver dropped me off first. And I was like, thank you, Jesus. Okay. Because that that lady who was a full grown Karen and a half was testing not only my patience, but the patience of the driver. And that driver, I mean, look, let me put it to you this way. If you're going to come half an hour early, fine. But you know what? Don't make me wait half an hour. It's okay. But it is what it is. And then I think it was today, I had scheduled another accessory for another pickup. And of course, I cannot reach accessory because there's no one in the office before 7 o'clock. And guess what, folks? The driver never showed up. And the reason why, because they never assigned a vehicle for me to pick up, even though I booked my reservation 2 days ahead of time. Make that make sense, folks. Make that make sense, folks. I may have to reconsider whether or not I'm going to have to continue using the accessory. But, it is what it is. So with that being said, we're going to get into the main topic. So, as I stated earlier, the topic is a goodbye for Cynthia G. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I had, until recently, I did not know too much about Cynthia G. I heard a little bit about her. What little bit I have heard about it, I was not all that crazy about. Okay. But for the benefit of those of us mortals that have never come across her channel, consider yourself fortunate. But Cynthia G, she is a African American female that's been a YouTube creator, I would say for the last 8-9 years. And when she started out, she was into Black empowerment. Okay, and from what I understand, she was controversial when she was pursuing that thing. Later on, she started preaching regarding how African American men were dusties and bandits and it wasn't worth anything, and that Black women should not date Black men, they should not marry Black men, and actually went as far as saying that the fetuses of Black male fetuses of Black should be deleted. Okay. So, I mean, basically, she had a lot of hatred towards African American men. And when I went into a little history behind it, there's a couple. Okay, I'm not going to say this is justification, but there's a reason behind that. First of all, I did not know this, but she became a single mom. Okay, and how she became a single mom? She became a single mom by having unprotected sex with a dude that have multiple children with multiple baby moms. So, in other words, she gave up the kitty for a dusty. She gave up the kitty for a bandit, so to speak. And there were certain people, certain personage people that she was attracted to. One person was Tariq Sheen. Okay. Apparently, she had a huge crush or desire or whatever with this man, and he didn't return the favor. Okay. So as a result of all this, Cynthia G arrived at the conclusion that they should have nothing to do with black man because black man was never there to protect black women or what have you. That all black men are dogs. That all black men are uh, not dateable. That there's a whole bunch of dusties. Funny thing, she had unprotected sex with a dusty, and as a result, got pregnant. Okay. Now another thing I also found out that according to Cynthia G's recollection, she had her channel deleted at least 3 times for violation of YouTube community guidelines. Now, among the things that can cause you to lose your channel, excuse me, I gotta take this call. Hello? Hello? Sorry about that. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I apologize for that. So she had her channel deleted at least 3 times by her own account. Okay. Now, one thing we have to bear in mind, and of course, there's always people that have the allegation that believe that YouTube is arbitrary in enforcement of its guidelines. That may be or may not be the case. Nevertheless, um, if if you violate those guidelines, whether it be with hate speech, whether it be with showing violent material, whether it be showing pornographic material, or in any other way that you violate the guidelines, you do that, you run the risk of having your channel deleted. Okay. Now, one thing, it is my understanding that once your channel is deleted once, you're not able to have another channel. Somehow, Cynthia G has been able to create other channels only to have her channel deleted and lost her ability to make money. Now, for what I understand, Cynthia G was very successful in creating money for YouTube. I believe she was making about $15,000 a month. Um, and one thing you have to understand that the reason why you become monetized, first of all, yes, you make money, but also you make money for YouTube in the form of advertisements. Okay, when you have content where it is extremely controversial or it's in poor taste or alleged hate speech or alleging or advocating violence against an individual or a group, what's going to happen is you're going to have advertisers that are going to think twice before they advertise your content. Okay, That is a fact because when everything is said and done, the advertisers, whatever they mean, they want to make money. And they don't want to be associated with a creator who produces hate speech. They don't want to be dealing with a creator that advocates violence towards a group or individual or shows pornographic material. Okay, because they all have an image to look after. Okay, unfortunately, um, Cynthia G apparently never learned this lesson. Okay, and you would think that someone who has deleted their channel 2 times previously, um, they would try to clean up their act. Okay. Now, I this week I did a poll in my community tab, which was, do you think Cynthia G would return to YouTube? Actually, she was asked that question, and she said she wasn't too sure if she wanted to come back because of the alleged toxicity that's in YouTube. With all due respect, she's someone that's very toxic, particularly in her rhetoric against African American men. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not here to celebrate the fact that she lost the channel again. I'm not here to gloat. However, this is more like a cautionary tale because you have other YouTube creators that produce controversial content, and some of them are hate speech. So that's something we all have to bear in mind. Okay. And the fact of the matter is this: if you want to produce content on YouTube, you have to abide by the rules. My understanding is that she's going to go to Patreon to produce her content. Fine. Okay. However, it's going to be a time at some point when even Patreon may update their community guidelines. I know in Rumble, it's not as restricted regarding free speech and things what you can do or cannot do. Okay, but even on Rumble, I mean, they want to be able to enjoy revenue money. So eventually, Rumble will change its guidelines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a video. First of all, as you see, it's for free. It's free use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a YouTube a video. Just give me a moment. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself so I can play the video. And it's just as advisement, free use for the purposes of expressing my point of view regarding a topic. So just bear with me.
Because again, I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been on here since I think I uploaded my first video in late 2015. And immediately I saw the level of toxicity of Black YouTube that really like shocked me.
The artist formerly known as Cynthia G has been signed to Weave and Sandal Records with her first hit song called I Don't Know How I'm Gonna Pay My Bills Since I've Been Kicked Off YouTube. That should be a hot song on the top 100 Bandit singles and hits. But anyways, to be more serious, she has been kicked off the platform, and many people would have loved to hear what she has to say since she's been off the platform. But guess what? We have found somebody who's given her an exclusive interview, and that person is named Themis and Thoth. Now, I have never really heard of this particular YouTuber before. It appears that he is quite familiar with Cynthia G, and he did ask her an interesting question. Firstly, about is she coming back to YouTube? She said this.
Like it was already stated in Themis's post, I am working with YouTube on this. For people who have been around and have been following my journey on YouTube, then you probably already know that this is not the first time or the second time or the third time my channel has been deleted. This is actually the fourth time that it's been deleted. So I do have a certain level of confidence that if I really want to get my channel back, I can. The question though is, do I want to? Because it's been a difficult journey for me. So, I am working with YouTube. Obviously, I have a partner manager. When you get to a certain level of notoriety and subscribership on YouTube, you do get a partner manager. So there is a point of contact, obviously, that I'm going back and forth with. But
now, as you have heard, guys, this is very interesting. She said in this particular instance that, you know what? I don't know if I want to come back to YouTube.
No, she's talking about the level of toxicity. With all due respect, Cynthia G, you're the one that created this toxicity, okay? With your anti-Black rhetoric and your call for Black male fetuses to be self-deleted. You brought it upon yourself. But in any case, we will continue. Again, fair use, fair use, fair use.
Which I find quite interesting. You've had not one, not two, not three, but your channel shut down 4 different occasions. You said you've won every report, but why have you gotten your channel shut down that many times? It's because you don't understand the rules of YouTube. So you're going around here causing all sorts of issues, all sorts of problems, and everything else. But then, you know what? The second part is even funnier. Let's check this out.
You said you don't know if you want to come back, and that's interesting because it sounds like you, in some ways, have made a kind of decision. Like, obviously, you're still having your negotiation, you're still having your conversations with YouTube, but what do you not want to come back?
So like I said, it's been a very long, stressful journey for me on YouTube. Whether I was doing the pro-Black content or I guess you can call it BWE content, the response from the Black community was the same.
Yeah.
Attacks, trolling, threats of mass flagging and getting the channel. It's just been a very long, difficult road on YouTube. And then there is the censorship. We know that YouTube changes their terms of service, it seems like every other month. So the censorship gets worse and worse.
I'm sorry, but I had to stop it here. First of all, look, like it or not, YouTube has community guidelines. Violation of those guidelines will lead you to either lose your ability to make money or get you removed from the platform. Okay. Now, as far as again toxicity, you helped created it, Cynthia G. Stop the cap. We will continue, and again, free use.
The chances of you getting strikes or demonetization increases every time they change their terms of service. And to a large degree, it's become a very toxic space. That's why people, even before this, have seen me taking more breaks for longer. But I've been thinking about whether I wanted to be on YouTube for a while now. I don't think there would be any point in time where I'm just never on YouTube. But it being the primary platform, that's something I'm giving great thought to. I am giving some great thought to it because again, I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been on here since I think I uploaded my first video in late 2015, and immediately I saw the level of toxicity of Black YouTube that really like shocked me.
Now, this is a lot to be said in this part. Cynthia G is complaining and acting like a complete victim. Oh my gosh, she didn't know how toxic Black YouTube was, and she didn't know this, and she didn't know that. But let me just, for those of you who want to see how toxic she is, let me just play a clip of her arguing about aborting, like, Black men, and let.
Now, is there toxicity in YouTube? Yeah. Is there more toxicity in Black YouTube? I don't want to say yes or no because I'm not familiar with that. If Rakim was here, he would be a better source of that information. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. So the topics tonight is it goodbye for Cynthia G? Okay, and the reality is that she got kicked off of YouTube for the fourth time for violation of the community guidelines. I'm not here to gloat. I'm just here to share this information, and this is really a cautionary tale to all other YouTube creators, particularly those YouTube creators who have questionable, controversial content which can be classified as hate speech. So we will continue. And again, free use. Let's see here. Yeah, this is my. Now, look, I know there might be people that say that YouTube is arbitrary when it comes to enforcing its guidelines. Perhaps, whatever. It's possible. But the bottom line is this. Why give them a reason to have your channel removed if you produce controversial content which can be considered hate speech? Okay, I don't believe in censorship. However, I do believe this cause and effect. If you constantly violate YouTube guidelines, you're going to risk losing your channel. Okay, that's a reality. Okay, so now we will continue again, free use.
Let's come back.
Telling a woman that she needs to be a single mother and go through the hardship of being a single mother in poverty, your wrong for telling them
Who's
that.
to say that they would be a
I'm telling them to
property?
do what's best for them.
You're talking
I'm
about
telling them-
two things that I have
Ladies.
experienced myself, being a
I
single
don't care
mother
about your
of a black
experiences. I
male
don't care.
and
Ma'am, I
have
don't
terminated
care.
my pregnancy. I have done both. So
Ma'am,
you are
I
speaking
don't
to somebody who has raised her child alone and is going to school to be a doctor. Okay, so to tell me my son
And
is
it
a
would have been
dusty
much
is
easier
bull.
if you had gotten an abortion. And if it would have been much easier to do that if you had gotten an abortion.
Wow.
Keep it a buck.
So the reality is this: Cynthia G is trying to act like she's done no wrong, and she's not at fault at all. And people just hate her for no reason. And YouTube,
Long story on YouTube to me.
now this,
If you had gotten an abortion. And if it would have been much easier to do that if you had gotten an abortion.
wow.
Keep it a buck.
So the reality is this: Cynthia G is trying to act like she's done no wrong, and she's not at fault at all. And people just hate her for no reason. And YouTube, especially Black YouTube, is a toxic environment. This is where the rubber meets the road. Like, this is the same person who made fun of a dead Kevin Samuels. This is the same person who's made fun of dead Black men in the past. This is a person who's even said, you know what?
Good evening, Irby. The topic for tonight, okay, well, good evening to you, Irby. The topic for tonight is it goodbye to Cynthia G? Okay, now you heard it from the horse's mouth, okay? Here she is advocating the deletion of Black male fetuses, okay? If that is not hate speech, I don't know what it is. And the unmitigated goal, she's getting upset and wondering why she lost her channel, why she lost her ability to produce content. You produce content like this, that's what's going to happen. Okay. And again, people can argue that YouTube is arbitrarily enforces its guidelines. Again, my question is the following. Why on God's green earth you're going to provide the ammunition for you to have your channel deleted? Okay? Please make that make sense, people. Make that make sense. And now we will continue. Again, free use.
You need to abort Black male fetuses. And then you're going to come back and say, you don't know how toxic Black YouTube is. It's almost like a drug dealer who sells crack in Philadelphia and comes back and says, you know what? I don't know why we have so many crackheads. Like, yo, what's going on? We need to clean up our community. The reality is, man, like, she has no sense of self-awareness at all. On one hand, she's talking to YouTube to get her channel back, but you know what? She doesn't want to get her channel back because, she values her mental health. Your mental health is the reason why you let Robert Perkins booty clapper sounds, and the reason why you're so in love with Tariq Nasheed and stalking Corey Holcomb, because they don't want to deal with you. You see, YouTube and Black YouTube is not your problem. The toxicity is not your problem. There are a lot of people on Black YouTube that never get into the toxicity. And I'm going to tell you like this. I used to get into some arguments and stuff here and there on Black YouTube, but you know what I found out? Let me stop live streaming. And ever since I stopped live streaming, I don't have any problems. I don't get into any kind of beefs on Black YouTube. And Black YouTube is not just an all drama filled place. It includes comedians, it includes all kinds of sectors. People are in Black YouTube. It's very versatile and they don't have any issues like you. But you're the one going out here spewing all of this particular hatred, and now you're mad because you think that Black YouTube all of a sudden is this toxic place. Certain elements of Black YouTube can be toxic, but you got to realize one thing: you are also a toxic individual, and this is why your channel has been shut down not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 times. And the reason why you want to get back into YouTube, it's simple. YouTube is a money thing. A lot of money is being made on YouTube. And you make a lot of money on YouTube, despite the fact you have not changed your content strategy up. You want to be on here calling people beta males and calling folks out their name and, calling people worm food when they die. You just want to be very egregious and insidious. And you think,
Good evening, Don Armando. How are you doing tonight? Thank you very much for stopping by. Again, for the benefit of those who are just watching it, the topic for tonight is it goodbye for Cynthia G? Okay, well, you know what? For now, I would say so. But even I think Rumble at some point may change its guidelines, particularly if they're thinking about creating advertising money or receiving advertising money. Rumble might change its guidelines. Okay. And again, let me make this perfectly clear. I am not here to gloat regarding Cynthia G getting deleted. I'm just simply sharing the information, and this is meant to be a cautionary tale because you have multiple YouTube creators who create similar content. You have YouTube creators, both male and female, that speak ill of Black men, okay? Calling their names and things of that nature. And these people need to be careful because they can lose their channels as well, okay? Now, if anyone wants to join the panel, the link has been pinned. If you don't want to, I understand. So again, we're going to continue with this video. And again, free use.
that's okay. You feel like you should be able to come onto somebody else's platform and be insidious and just be just shady and grimy and have that attitude towards the people in your community. But no, you don't really get to do that. And you're here like having some of your folks set up GoFundMes, and now you're on Patreon and doing all of these things, and you want to come back to YouTube because why? YouTube pays the bucks. You don't see a lot of females caping for Cynthia G because, well, they really never cared about her that much in the first place. And all of this was a show to pretty much exonerate herself for whatever she's been saying, blaming everything on YouTube as if YouTube is the problem, but you've been shut down 4 different times. Clearly, you are the only person involved in this whole time frame. I know people who have been on YouTube for 10, 12, 13 years, and they have never been shut down ever before in life. But somehow Cynthia G, who comes onto YouTube, who comes into Black YouTube, a place where she say is so toxic, that she might not even want to come back on YouTube again. Somehow you have a problem with keeping your channel up. And you have people out here defending that, like a lot of these ladies in the comment section who are talking about, oh my God, they love you. They can't wait for you to come back if you come back, but they're not helping that GoFundMe. And that is the truth. So that's why you keep coming onto these men's platforms, try to get your stuff out. But that is exactly what they do. Again,
But you know what I find bizarre? Okay, she's been going around saying that Black men ain't ish, that they're dusty, that they're beta males. What does she do? She goes to the same group of men to save her and to get her channel restored. Make that make sense, folks. Make that make sense. And look, the fact of the matter is this. She did not lose her channels because of Black men. She did not lose her channels because of the community guidelines of YouTube. She lost her channels because she did not comply with the guidelines. And again, we can argue back and forth whether YouTube is arbitrary enforcing these guidelines. Again, I go back to my original question. Why the fluff you give YouTube the ammunition they need to have you deleted? Okay? If you know what the guidelines and you know what you can do or you cannot do, just simply try to operate within those guidelines. Yeah, exactly. Okay, exactly. And there's a lot of hypocrisy involved with this. Okay, she's the one talking about how black men are dusty and what have you. She got knocked up by a Pookie and a Ray Ray. Okay, and not only that, she lost her ability to make money for her child. Okay, and the fact that and one thing I didn't know about this, Cynthia G had a death in the family. She lost her brother. Now I do not know what were the saddest circumstances that led to this passing. One thing I do know for sure is that you did not see too many black men clapping back and rejoicing regarding her loss. Now, mind you, when Kevin Samuel passed away, she was rejoicing. Basically, she could urinate in this grave. Now, say what you will about Kevin Samuels, okay? But when everything is said and done, a child lost their father, a mother lost her son, they lost a sibling, a best friend, a compadre, and what have you. And you should never, never, never rejoice in the passing of a person, particularly when the person passes away in their prime, because he was in his 50s. So we will continue with the video again. Free use, free use, free use.
Again, having this hatred and vitriol for black men has done nothing positive for you at all. There is nothing that you can gain from that. Hating black men or hating black women or doing anything of that sort is not going to get you any better in life. And when somebody wants to tell you that, you get upset, you get mad, you get pissed off. But guess whose fault it is? It's your fault. All right? Your fault. Completely your fault. So the question is, why is it your fault? Okay. You got your channel shut down. Nobody got your channel shut down for you. You knew the rules. You knew all the obligations, but you didn't care because you wanted to come on here hating on black men. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again. Another episode.
Okay. Now, I understand. Well, believe it or not, we had a lot to digest in that video, which is I think was about 10 to 15 minutes long. But let me just try to see if I can do that for all of us. You have an individual that not only had the channel deleted once, twice, but 4 times. Oh, and for the same reason. For violating the guidelines of YouTube and promoting what was considered hate speech. Now, again, let me make this perfectly clear. I don't believe in censorship. I believe, if there's a creator that you don't like, that you don't want to listen, then you know what? Just go on your merry way, and you partake in some of the other channels, because there's literally millions of YouTube creators out there with hundreds of thousands of different venues that you can enjoy and partake in. Okay. So no one is obligated to listen to anyone. Okay. Nevertheless, and this is something that people need to bear in mind. Whenever you are on a platform, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter, whether it be whatever, each platform has its own set of guidelines. And you need to comply with those guidelines in order to be successful with your content. If you continue to violate those guidelines, what's going to happen is the platform will take away your ability to create content. We already seen it with a few YouTube creators. We have seen Fresh and Fit lost his ability to make money, and some of their content was basically pure garbage and hate speech, again, towards African American men. And you have Hybrid Vigor, who lost one channel due to the fact that he violated the community guidelines of YouTube. And then you have other YouTube creators that lost their ability to make money because they violated in some fashion the guidelines, whether it be through hate speech, whether it be because they produce other people's content without giving proper credit or taking it. Yeah. You know what? It could look, like I said before, it could be petty, and I'm not saying that YouTube is always yeah. Well, what can I say? But we know other YouTube creators that I had either lost their ability to make money or have their channels deleted. Okay, because in one form or another, they violated the guidelines. Okay. So what I think we all should do is take a look at the guidelines when we have an opportunity. Well, you know what? I gotta admit it, I enjoy it. I hate to admit it, I enjoy it. Particularly when he loves to talk about my platform is insignificant. Okay. Last time I checked, I have about 3 times more. I have about 3 times as many subs as he has, and at least I don't waste my time getting into the gender war and talking about how feminist women are lesbians and whatnot, and all this talk about the mulatto spirit and going on and on and on and on and on. I mean, I'm sorry, he's like the mulatto version of Kim 123. I just go in week in, week out, trying to produce interesting content that hopefully you will enjoy. Okay. And I can accept criticism. Okay. And I can admit oh yeah, well, what could I say about the refugee from an insane Canadian insane asylum? But getting back to the topic again, I don't rejoice in the fact that Cynthia G had a channel deleted 4 times. Okay, I do not rejoice in the misfortune of others. That's just my way of thinking. Okay. Now the question is it goodbye for Cynthia G? I don't know. I do know this much. She might be successful at some point at getting another channel on YouTube. But if she continues to violate those guidelines, guess what's going to happen? Her channel will be deleted again, and then she'll go on another platform, and then she'll moan and groan about how YouTube is unfair, how Black YouTube is toxic. Yeah, I agree. You know what? What Cynthia G needs to do, okay? Number one, she needs to see a therapist in regarding her issues that she have against Black men and why she feels that way. And for a good 6 months, take a YouTube sabbatical and then find a way to earn a living for herself and her son that she had with a so-called dusty Black beta male. Now that's the hypocrisy, talking about how the fetuses, male fetuses of Black men should be deleted. Okay. You know what? I was told that she had a son. Maybe she has a daughter. I don't, you know what? I do not know. But in either case, what Cynthia G needs to do is 2 things. Number one, get herself a good therapist to deal with whatever trauma or issues or whatever that she's dealing with. Number one. Number two, get on a YouTube sabbatical for 6 months. Okay. And that's Gigi. That's part of the reason why she needs therapy, because she has a lot of hurt and a lot of trauma that she never dealt with and needs a resolution. Okay. So instead of getting on YouTube or Patreon or Rumble talking about how Black men ish and how they should be self-deleted and what have you, the best thing for her to do is not say anything at all. Take the loss, get therapy, get a job, an honest job to take care of herself and her child, and not date until she's completely healed. And then once she is healed, she needs to have reasonable standards regarding a man. And I'm going to explain to you why. If she's going to go ahead and insist on getting a high value man, basically a person who's 6 feet tall, has a six pack, and making at least a 6-figure income, she's not going to be successful. Okay? And one of the things that some ladies fail to understand, there's not too many men who make 6 figures. Those that are there, they have multiple options. Okay, here's an interesting question. You know what? That is a very good question. Now, I suspect her solution would be is to try to get with a white man or a Latino man, any man other than an African American man. Okay. Let me just say as a Latino myself. For these okay, some of these women to try to approach a Latino man for a relationship and try to bring that rhetoric to his attention, it's not going to go well. Okay. First of all, we have our own women to date. And there are some beautiful black women, but there's also some beautiful Latino women. There's some beautiful Puerto Ricans, there's some beautiful Dominicans, there's some beautiful Cubans, and what have you. Okay. And many Latino men will have the belief that they should be in charge. Okay? Yeah, that may be true. That may be true. But let me just tell you something. As a Latino male, for someone like a Cynthia G that share her rhetoric with one of us, it's not going to go well because we're not going to stomach that rhetoric. Okay. Any Latino man that's not a simp is going to deal with that crap. No, we're not. We're going to tell you, you know what? Goodbye. See you later. Adios. Ciao. Okay? Or as I would say, don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. Okay? Now, I have been talking my ish for over an hour. Okay? If anyone wants to join the panel and express a point of view, maybe you think I'm crazy, maybe you think I'm wrong, maybe you think I don't know what I'm talking about, by all means, hit the link. The link has been pinned. Okay? I am mature enough that I can accept different points of view, and there may be people who disagree with what I'm saying. That's perfectly fine. All I'm saying is the following. If you're going to be on any type of platform, whatever it is, if you want to be able to create content, you will have to abide by their guidelines. Failure to do so, you will lose your ability to create content. Okay? We already have seen people who continue to disregard the guidelines and they lost their channels. We have seen people who have lost their ability to make money for the same reason. And I know people will say YouTube is arbitrary, enforcing its guidelines. That may be the case. I still stand by my original question, which is, why give them the ammunition they need to delete your channel? Why? Why? There's no need for it. And you would think after 3 times that Cynthia G had a channel deleted, that it would start to sink me in a minute. Maybe I need to tone down my rhetoric. You know, I hear you. But look, and I say that again, I do not rejoice in her losing her ability to create content. Okay. But it's meant to be a cautionary tale. Because we do know other YouTube creators that actually go around bashing black men. Okay. Are there some that are not responsible? Yes. Again, I know this sound old, this sound tripe, what have you. But I firmly believe there is good and there is bad in every community. Okay. You have some Pookies and Ray Rays in the black community, but yet you have some great people who are doing an excellent job. They are doing their best to help the community, build the community, and make the community better. Okay. It is just unfortunate that the Pookies and the Ray Rays are the ones that always seem to get the attention. Let's see this. Okay, I never heard of Minister Japs, and you know what? He may be risking having his channel deleted as well, or losing the ability to make money off of YouTube. Okay, again, let me make this perfectly clear. I know I said it before, but you know how people get sensitive. They don't say things like 10 million times. I do not rejoice in the fact that Cynthia G had a channel deleted 4 times. I'm just simply here to give my review, my interpretation. Say what you wish. Maybe you think I'm crazy. Maybe you think I'm weird. Maybe you think I don't know what the fluff I'm talking about. That's perfectly fine. Okay, that's perfectly fine. You are entitled to your point of view. Okay. So that is my take. And at some point, I will be doing a stream regarding whether or not YouTube is arbitrary enforces its guidelines. Some people say it is, some people say they're not. Again, I go back to my original point, which is why give them the ammo to do so? Why? So let me just discuss what's going to be the topic for tomorrow's stream. Now, lately there's been a lot of chatter regarding a list. Okay, I'll see about okay. Um, Now, what is this list about? This list is regarding places where women do want to go on a first date. Now, I'm going to say this is some of the places that they list, they're legit. Like, for example, I'm sorry, no lady should go to the dude's house on the first date. No way. You don't know the dude. I mean, the dude could be a psychopath or whatever. Okay. And it's the same way, I would never go to a chick's house. No, I would never do that. The gym, it's kind of hard to go to to get to know someone because basically a gym's a noisy place and there's a lot of discussion, what have you. And taking a woman to a first date to church, unless the lady is a born again Christian, I don't see it. So what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow night is I'm gonna give you my my take regarding this so-called list. Okay, and again, it's my point of view. People are allowed to say whatever they wish. Okay, let's see. Okay, well, okay. To be perfectly honest, I don't know too much about Tommy Sotomayor. Okay, so oops. So sorry. So I don't know. I will have I don't know if he's still on YouTube. So I will need to check out his content. Just, because I don't like to make an opinion without actually seeing the content myself. But in in any case, what is my whole take in the whole thing? Again, I don't rejoice in the fact that she lost her ability to create content 4 times. But you know what? There is a bigger issue. Okay, and what is that issue? The issue is, why make the same mistake and not learn from it? Okay. You know what's the you know what's the definition of insanity? Is you keep doing the same thing again and again and again, and you expect a different result. Okay. Because there's a thing called cause and effect. Okay. Let me just give you a perfect example. If I cross the street with the with the red light and ongoing traffic, there's a possibility I could be struck by a vehicle. I could be injured or I can be killed. Cause and effect. Another cause and effect is like, if for some reason I'm in a subway station and I decide to go down the track, and if I touch the third rail, the consequences is I will get electrocuted and I may die. Cause and effect. If I am in a committed relationship with my partner or my spouse, and then I decide to step out and have an extramarital affair, and particularly if I decide to do it without protection. First of all, okay, let me just see what's okay. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay. Some people might disagree with what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. No. If this was her first time, I can see it. But after 4 times, I could be wrong, but it does not appear that she's willing to change. Okay. And as long as she doesn't show any evidence that she's going to comply with the guidelines, I don't think she should ever get another channel again. I don't think so. Okay, let's see what Irby has to say. Me first, I don't care. There are worse people on YouTube than her. I agree. But there's something we have to bear this in mind. This is not the first time that her channel was not deleted. This was not the second time that her channel was not that was deleted. This is not even our third time. This is our fourth time. Now, my question is this: how many more chances do you give this person? How many more chances? How many more chances um, should this person have? Okay, and that's something that I would like all of you to think about. Because I know there might be some of you that are pro Cynthia G, and there's some of you who are not. And that's fine. You are all entitled from your point of view. Now, before I bring in my guest, I want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel do not necessarily reflect the channel or the host. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your right to your image. Some of the views that people at home might consider offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the channel or content, you can block the channel. G.
Okay, I think I'm on now.
Yes. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, good. How you doing, Jose?
Oh, I'm doing fine, thank you. So, what do you think about the whole topic?
I agree with what Irby said. I don't think Cynthia G is even close to like one of the worst people on YouTube. Um, the worst shit that she said was the deletion comment. I'm not even sure if she's still pressing that talking point. She may or may not. I don't watch her content much anymore, but there's so much crazy shit on YouTube, Jose, that I think that they're just making an example out of her because she's actually successful at it and making money.
Okay. No,
Just
this
like
is
Fresh
how
and
I look
Fit.
at it. Okay, this is how I look at it. And one can argue that YouTube is being arbitrary in enforcement of its community guidelines. My point is this: why give them the ammunition to do that? Do you understand my point of view?
I do, but I will say though that when I saw the live stream when she was talking about it, she said they got her on something that was like a 2-year-old video. And so that is, if you're just looking at things from a content creator's perspective, it's very, very tricky. It basically just means they can just, they can kick you off at any time for whatever reason they feel like, because the terms and services, they update, they change. So to have a video on there for 2+ years and then boom, your channel's deleted for it, as a content creator, it's something to definitely pay attention to.
Yes.
You know what I
I
mean?
agree. And look, I agree. And let me tell, and to be perfectly honest, before this whole controversy, I know very little about her. It's just that, you have like hundreds of thousands of YouTube creators out there. Okay, so it's like you don't have the time to look at other people's content. I got barely enough time to look at those that I actually support, like you and Multi and other people like that. So it's a challenge to follow everybody, but
I know. It's a lot more time into YouTube than people think, even with just creating content when it comes to, supporting people and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I guess the reason why I say that though is like the reason why I say they're making an example out of her is because she is big on YouTube and her name has went far. But there are like so many channels that are like, as far as the female side of things, that are way, way, way worse. And they use the hard ER, and so it is what it is. I think that they're just hitting the heads. They want all that shit to change up because they want the most advertisers on here. So they're really trying to cut out all these problematic channels. It's a dead end doing the gender war thing.
Yeah, you know what? And sometimes when I do discuss gender topics, I try very hard to be neutral, and I try very
Hmm.
hard to give both points of view because I don't want to come across as being anti-female, whatever. I'm just trying to share what I know.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay.
I feel you. I do the
but
same. I try to look at each like situation individually, but they still say that I'm just on one side of things, which is not necessarily true. I can say whoever's wrong is whoever's wrong, you know? But either way, to have a topic here or there about it, that's different than just dedicating your whole channel to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, I have had the pleasure of interacting with you for about 2 years, and you know, you're very fair. You're very fair, and you're
Thank
very
you.
creative
I appreciate
in
that.
your content. I mean, no, you know what? And those who have an issue with me, say la guerre. Good evening, true teacher. Long time no see. Uh, I don't know if I would actually go there as far as being. Look, this is my thing. At some point,
Irby.
okay. Let me just make a general statement because I don't want to make it sound like I'm dumping on Cynthia G. But in general, when you have creators, whether it be male or female, when they're constantly making content that's controversial, that can be interpreted as hate speech. At some point, there comes a time when you need to think about, you need to sit back and think, maybe I need to rethink my content. What's your point of view, GG?
Yeah, it's very true because like even like I switched up my content even with the whole like mixed and biracial stuff and the topics and the people and it gets heavy and it gets negative. So yeah, I would have thought she would have been kind of diversified her channel a little bit. But just like on your last stream when you had the thing about the entitlement, I do think she was very entitled because even when Nyla got popped, she kind of like went laid low for a while, regrouped, re-strategized, and came back. Cynthia G just immediately just like went over, created a new channel, went to big YouTubers that were black men, and promoted it and was just right back on. So of course YouTube is gonna be like, hold up now, you know what I mean? Like you're out here doing too much.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And look, and I think, I have said this before. People might think I'm crazy, but I'm going to say it anyway. If it was left up to me, before anyone can create a YouTube channel, they will have to have an evaluation, a mental evaluation, because unfortunately, you have a lot of hurt people out there. Okay, and in my humble opinion, I think Cynthia G is one of those hurt people.
Well, you know, with everything that's going on in the world right now, it's just like so much more important things, and all of it just seems petty, and it really does make you question like what direction, like what is your purpose on here? You know, if you're going about things the right way, and if you believe in God, would God be pleased with it? Like just reevaluating things, I think. I mean, wouldn't you say that these are some trying times?
Yeah. Well, you know what? They're trying times for multiple reasons. Okay.
Hmm.
And then you have the situation with COVID, which turns everything upside down and what have you. I mean, look, as a municipal employee, you have literally thousands of people running to put in their paperwork to retire because they don't want to deal with all the craziness. And
Yeah.
then you deal with all the craziness here in these YouTube streets and what have you, and you're just trying to create um, content that that's not so crazy or out there. Okay. So that's why some people might consider me boring. I may be boring to some people, but it's just that I got to deal with me, and I got to make
Hmm.
sure that the content I produce reflect the type of person I am.
Yes. Hmm. Yeah. So you feel
So
that that's what people say, that when you sell out, that's when you're like going against your like internal, um, I don't know, morals or whatever. So like, as long as you're not doing that, then you're good. Smooth sailing.
exactly, and then let me tell you something. I understand when it comes to creators like myself, it takes a long time to create, a huge number of subs. One of the things that I always believe, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's going to take time.
Hmm.
And it's going to be weeks where it looks like no one is watching my content. And next thing you know, there's going to be weeks when people watch my stuff and they can't help but watch my stuff. I mean, it's what
Hmm.
it is. But
Also, just with the state of the world and everything, where it seems or appears like we're knocking on World War III. You know what I mean? Like, this is the time really for us as Americans to come together and stop dividing amongst ourselves, in my opinion.
I agree. And unfortunately, we're living in such a divided time when it comes to politics and things of that nature. I mean, just think it took them weeks before they chose someone to be a new Speaker of the House. And it's like there are more important things out there than worrying about um, the gender wars and things of that nature. Okay. And
At the end of the day, everybody should
I
just date
never
whoever makes
thought,
them happy and call it a day.
I agree. I agree.
It's really
I mean,
simple.
I never thought just for me to give a discussion regarding feminism would be such an uproar. I mean, all I'm doing is bringing the facts and addressing the fact
Yeah,
that
but
there
if you
was a
look at the
limited.
titles of your video, your streams, Jose, the streams that you have titled kind of like more so going at like women, you know what I mean? Like more salacious, and that way you'll have more views. So that's why you have to pay attention to your analytics, and you can kind of see like what direction your audience goes in. Because I know there were certain directions that my audience was going in that I just like rebelled against, and I was like, well, even if you all leave, like I'm just gonna keep, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep forging ahead, because
I
you
know.
can just tell by your
Yeah,
numbers of like what people like to watch.
yeah, I agree. One thing I do find gratifying is that I always manage to get like a huge portion of the younger generations to watch my content. So I must be doing something right.
That's because I don't have really too much. I think it's just like, what is it, the 25 and up mostly. Yeah. Which is
Yeah.
good though. I don't think young people should be watching me.
But
Whoa.
people love to paint a narrative that's not true. Okay, and not just about not towards you or multi, but people in general. Don't you agree?
You said they love building a narrative?
They paint a false narrative.
Yes, that's YouTube though. Like every creator has some sort of a idea or narrative around them. You know what I mean?
I
Some of
agree.
it true, some of it not.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
you
this
know
is
what?
YouTube. Anybody can come out here and paint a narrative.
Yeah,
And that's the downside of YouTube, is slandering of your character or whatever.
yeah, and and I think what some people fail to understand or appreciate. Um, when you have certain individuals that try to rob your peace by making false allegations and false reports, of course people are going to react. So it's easier for people who have not experienced that to pass judgment because they're not experiencing what some people have experienced.
It's so common. It's sad that actually people look at it as an initiation, like, oh, you got doxxed, like everybody gets doxxed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, look, a few months ago, my Facebook account got hacked, and
Mhm.
people got messages that I passed away.
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, Keisha actually called me and asked me, "Am I okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." Why? Because her dad got a message that I passed away. So I literally had to do a string.
I know, Irby. I was just making a joke. I was just making a joke.
I mean, literally, I had to do a string saying, "I'm alive. I'm not a ghost." But I would say that my experiences as a YouTube creator, for the most part, has been very good. I mean, if nothing else, I was able to meet up and link up with some great people, like you and Multi and Irby, EMR, Kenny, um, and then
Everybody.
yeah, everybody. I mean,
Hmm.
I have been truly blessed by all the people I've met, and actually a couple I actually have the pleasure to meet in person, and I'm truly humbled by all the love and support that I have received.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the best part about it is when you kind of like, have your own little tribe and everybody's supportive. And that's the best part about it. And you have a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. And and the fact of the matter is this, this was to deal with the craziness with C-19 because like I mean, let me tell you something. I mean, for a while in New York, we was in a complete lockdown.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy. I just was like, I could never live in New York. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm too used to this type of a lifestyle in Florida where it's like, not, it ain't going down like that.
Well, look, in all fairness, every government dealt with the crisis differently. Okay, and let's just leave it like that.
Every government what?
Dealt with the crisis in his or her way.
Yeah, yeah.
So now, the topic for tomorrow's stream will be regarding the list. I mean, there was a list that a bunch of women got together and talked about certain places there they would not allow a man to take them out to go on the first date. And
There's a
this
couple of
that
lists I heard about. The men made a list too about what they don't like in women. And there's another one too that the women they have like a list of, oh, if he does this, if he has a baby mama, if he has this, that like of like reasons not to date the men. So there's like a couple. Have you seen them as well?
yeah, I'm going to be talking about that tomorrow as well.
Okay.
Okay, so of course I'm going to do my best to be fair and unbiased. Okay,
Hmm.
but look, I'm not that complicated. If I like you, you like me, we're fine. Because look, this whole idea of she
I think
cannot be
everything's been
raised.
calm lately though,
Yes,
which
I'm
is
happy. I'm
nice.
happy.
But I feel like
Yeah.
everybody should be making content though, at least, because it's like a little bit too calm.
You mean like it might be the calm before the storm?
Eh, I don't know. It's the holidays. We'll see.
Yeah. You know
I
what?
remember
And
it's been years that like we've had a lot of crazy stuff like I remember before we used to be like at war with like Bossy and like Exoticals United, and they had like showed up on Thanksgiving, and you just never know with holidays and stuff how things go.
Well, look,
Some great shows.
let's keep it real. Um, for a lot of people, the holidays are a wonderful time. For some people, it's not. I mean,
Hmm.
the depressions go up, the self deletions go up, and and that's why, particularly my first year, I actually dealt with mental health issues because there's a lot of depression out there. And of
Hmm.
course, at least I'm not unlike someone, I didn't just copy off of someone else just to follow, but I actually created my content,
So
and
what
I
about
actually
today?
have
Do
a
you
therapist.
celebrate Halloween? Because like we don't
No, I
celebrate
don't.
Halloween. Do you celebrate Halloween?
No, I don't. I don't
Okay.
criticize those. I don't criticize those that do.
Hmm.
Okay. Actually, someone texted me and she said, in the texting said, Happy Halloween. And I just said, Thank you, but I don't celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Irby said happy Halloween to me in the chat. I'm like, yeah, 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 how you doing?
Like I said, look, I get it. Why people observe Halloween because, people wear the costumes and what have
And then
you,
yeah, it's fun.
and it could be, fun and what have you. Um, but I did some research regarding the holiday,
Yeah, me too.
and I didn't like what I saw.
Yeah.
Okay, so my thing,
To
so
say
my
the
thing
least.
is, so my thing is this: I don't judge if you do, but please respect that I don't.
True teachers should all rejoice. True. It's okay, Irby. No big deal.
Well, I mean, look, look.
People look at you crazy when you tell them you don't celebrate Halloween. I had a lady today and I was just like, oh, she just looked like she was trying to nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm like, no.
Well, look. And let me tell you something. Riding on the subway, and some of those people wearing those costumes, and some of those, it's like, okay, I guess they're going to a Halloween party, or they're going to do trick or treating, or they're going to do both. I mean, that's fine. I mean,
A lot of
just
people had good streams though with costumes. Everybody check out what is it? Oh, Colombian, Third Ward Colombian, but I'm trying to think of he has like another channel. Anyways, I shared it
yeah,
on my wall.
yeah. I need to check that. Like I said before,
You know
there's
Third
some.
Ward, right? Yeah, he has the
Yeah,
little
I know him.
channel over there.
You know what
Yeah.
it? Did you know what it is?
He has a good channel,
Listen,
not a little channel, a good channel.
let me tell you something. There's so many people I support. It's like it gets. I mean, it's just hard to watch their content, and plus
I
I work
know.
overtime. Plus I work overtime, so I'm like,
I know I got to
why?
get better of going over and supporting him though, because he supports my content, and I really like Third Ward. He's really nice. So, and he was a
Yes, he
Jafar
is.
for Halloween, which is so funny. He looked good as Jafar because he looked like an Arab. You know what I mean? He's like ambiguous.
Yeah.
He was
Well,
Jafar.
actually, I did saw someone. She was dressed like in a Barbie box. Like she was like a Barbie doll, and she was like in a box kind of thing.
Hmm.
I mean, that was kind of cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of good streams with a lot of different people and contests, and
Yeah.
there'll probably
Um,
be some tonight, right?
they probably will. They probably will. Like I said, I mean, I just like I said, no shade if you celebrate Halloween. Just respect the fact I don't. Okay. So anyway, and I'm sure you have some interesting thoughts regarding some of these lists. Okay, so and again, so basically, it's just going to be my critique, and you gotta try to you gotta try to talk about different topics, and sometimes you do gotta um, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, and you just have to take the L's with the W's, because you're gonna have some streams or videos that aren't gonna do as well as others, but as long as you're like doing what you want to do and talk about what you want to talk about, it's all good. It'll all like work out in the end. But
Yeah,
yeah, because a lot of people they come to certain channels because they're niche down. So when you do a bunch of different stuff, not everybody's gonna watch everything you do on different topics. But
that's
at
very
the
true.
end, you're gonna
That's
you're
very
gonna
true.
attract other people that are interested in watching those topics. So, and they might not watch the other
Yeah,
topics that the other people are interested in watching. So it all works
yeah,
out. Just do what you want to do.
yeah. And lately, I've been loading short little videos on TikTok.
That TikTok grows fast.
But
I don't know why I
you
can't
know,
stay focused on it. I should. It really does grow fast.
yeah, but maybe
Kimmy's doing well
remember
over
you
there.
work and your mom. Yeah, yeah. Remember you
Huh?
work and your mom, so that takes a lot of your time.
I know, but there's really no excuse, because Jose, you can just take a little clip of some YouTube work and just smack it right there on TikTok and you got something. So it's really no excuse, but maybe I'll try to do that. Like make that one of my goals, to actually work on my TikTok this year.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I do use it sometimes to advertise my channel a little bit because
Mm-hmm.
you gotta let people know who you are and what have
Because that's
you.
another monetized platform as well. And like I said, Kimmy, she stopped focusing on YouTube and she went to TikTok, and she's been doing well over there. And she's just like, hurry up, get your 1,000 subs so you can go live, and we can kick it over here and stuff like that too. But I just haven't, I think I'm at like 600 something. I don't know. You gotta have, I think, 1,000 before you can go live.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have anything close to that on TikTok. Well, in time. So
It grows faster and
anyway,
easier
well,
though than YouTube.
yeah,
But YouTube's a better payout in
yeah,
the end. You make more money in the
yeah.
end.
Mhm. Well, I'm gratified the fact that with all the struggle streams I have done, all the technical issues I have to deal with, and all the silliness I've gone through, to actually have 239 subs.
Hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you've already not done so, and hit that like on your way in and out. Thank you. Shout out to the Cloud Watchers and the
Yes,
Playback Gang.
yes, and of course, please show some love to my adopted cyber daughter, Gigi, and support her platform.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to start to wrap this up. You have any final remarks that you wish to share before you leave or whatever?
Nope, that's it. Everybody have a good night. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Jose. Thanks for having me up.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Goodbye. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said before, the whole point is not to gloat regarding Cynthia G losing the channel, but it's meant to be a cautionary tale and something to think about. So a huge shout out to all those who appear on the panel. A huge shout out to Gigi for showing, and please show some love to Gigi and support her channel. And a huge shout out to the Cloud Watchers. So I'm gonna wrap this up by saying what I always say: we must do whatever we can to minimize our exposure to the mentally and intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. This has been another episode of Uncommon Sense. Thanking all of you for your time and energy and good vibes. Take care and peace.